Legislative Update by James R. Vale. A thumbnail shoulder-length photo of Jim Vale in a serious pose accompanies this legislative update. He is wearing the same button-down shirt worn by other BVA headquarters staff members in the small photos accompanying their written columns. The background of the photo consists of a wooden pillar. In a color photo, the shirts would be blue with the red and blue BVA logo and name appearing just below the left shoulder. In the black and white print version of the Bulletin, the shirts become a dark gray, but the logo is still clearly visible. There is no photo caption. The content of Jim's update begins. The top 3 legislative priorities of BVA's government relations team are the Renewable Automobile Grant, caregiver benefits for blinded veterans, and Department of Veterans Affairs, VA, 508 accessibility and compliance. The VA Auto Grant Program currently aids eligible service-connected legally blind veterans with a one-time $22,355 FY22 grant toward the purchase of a vehicle. Not every blinded veteran has access to public transit or VA transportation. The use of ride services such as Uber may be convenient but can also be expensive, especially if used on a daily basis. Employment and VA healthcare will become more accessible to blinded veterans, especially those who reside in rural areas. Although they themselves cannot drive, these blinded veterans likely have a spouse or other family member who could provide transportation if they had their own vehicle. Vehicles tend to wear out after about 10 years, sometimes even earlier. Although VA will fund vehicle adaptations every 2 years, it is important to note that the VA Auto Grant is currently a one-time occurrence. The Auto Grant has broad support of the Veteran Service Organizations, VSOs. In the Senate, S-444, the Advancing Uniform Transportation Opportunities, AUTO, for Veterans Act, currently has 10 co-sponsors and was referred to the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee. The corresponding bill in the House is H.R. 1361 with 54 co-sponsors. It was referred to the House VA Subcommittee on Economic Opportunity. There is currently no official Congressional Budget Office, CBO, score for the auto grant, but the cost is expected to be close to $200 million per year, about $2 billion over 10 years. VA currently awards about 2,000 auto grants annually, which amounts to $44.7 million. To put these financial figures in perspective, VA's FY22 budget request is $269.9 billion. The challenge to passing this legislation is finding extra revenue or offsets to satisfy congressional pay-as-you-go rules. To look up what a bill costs, visit the CBO website at https://www.cbo.gov/cost-estimates. Both the House and Senate bills need more co-sponsors. BVA members can help by contacting their members of Congress and informing them of the 2 bills and their importance. If you have benefited from previously using VA Auto Grant and now need to replace your vehicle due to its age, BVA would like to hear from you. Please contact the Veterans Service Program, VSP, through https://bva.org/programs/veteran-service/ or email vsp@bva.org. The VA Caregiver Program, now known specifically as the Program of Comprehensive Assistance for Family Caregivers, PCAFC, was created by the Caregivers and Omnibus Health Services Act of 2010 for eligible post-9/11 veterans. Eligibility was later expanded by Section 161 of the VA Mission Act of 2018 to include those who served on or prior to May 7, 1975. A further expansion, scheduled for October 1, 2022, will include eligible veterans from all eras. Unfortunately, VA's latest figures show a staggering nationwide 80% denial rate. Blinded veterans face an ambiguous standard based on, quote, the need for supervision, protection, or instruction in order for the individual to maintain personal safety on a daily basis, or the inability to perform activities of daily living, ADLs. Depending on how broadly or narrowly these standards are interpreted, there is a substantial gray area. The widely varying functional ability of blinded veterans with the same clinical diagnosis and severity of blindness and subjectivity in the evaluation of their disabilities further complicates the adjudication of PCAFC applications for our population. BVA continues to raise these issues with partner VSOs, VA leadership, and congressional offices. VA announced in the fall of 2021 that it will be mailing notices in batches to 450,000 veterans and caregivers regarding their new appeal options under the Appeals Modernization Act, AMA. The mailing includes Form 10-305, Your Rights to Seek Further Review of PCAFC Decisions. Some veterans may have received this form with their 2022 Cost of Living Adjustment, COLA, notice letter. No, you can't appeal your COLA, but you may have new options to appeal if you disagree with the PCAFC decision. Blinded veterans who disagree with their PCAFC decision are encouraged to contact VSP for more information on their appeal options. BVA and other VSOs have noticed VA denials of Veterans Freedom of Information Act (FOIA) requests for copies of their PCAFC claims file, which is part of their VA medical record. How can the veteran and their advocate construct an effective appeal without that file? Blinded veterans have a right to a complete copy of that file that was used in their PCAFC claim. Those whose FOIA requests for copies of their PCAFC file were denied are urged to contact VSP on how to appeal these denials. According to the Report on the Accessibility of Websites of the Department of Veterans Affairs to Individuals with Disabilities, which was dismantled by BVA-sponsored legislation via the VA website Accessibility Act of 2019, Public Law 116-213, only 7.7% of all VA 812 websites are fully 508 compliant, thereby creating a significant barrier for blind and visually impaired veterans and VA employees who have been disenfranchised by not being able to access these websites. This accessibility barrier to the blind and visually impaired at VA is illegal and needs to come down. BVA continues its advocacy and pressure on VA regarding this important issue of 508 accessibility. VA's new electronic health record, EHR, must also be fully 508 compliant. BVA is working with VA and congressional oversight to find effective remediation to ensure that VA websites and facilities, including self-service kiosks at VA medical centers and community-based outpatient clinics, CBOCs, are accessible for the blind and visually impaired. The Alexander Lofgren Veterans in Parks VIP Act S-2580 and the corresponding H.R. 4300 was added to the National Defense Authorization Act as Section 641, which gives veterans and Gold Star families free lifetime access to national parks and federal recreational lands. BVA thanks the bill's lead sponsors, Senator Kristen Sinema, D., Arizona, in the Senate, and Representative Marionette Miller Meeks, R., Iowa, 2, in the House, for their strong support.